Hello, good evening, and welcome. Middle of the week, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. How are you doing? Have you had a good day? My name is Paul, and I help guys who are battling depression, stress, anxiety. I reboot your brain, get you back in the game. And to do that, I use hypnosis, happiness, and hijinks. Tonight, I want to talk about something that is quite hard for me to, well, no, it's not hard for me to talk about. I'm over and done with it, but it's still it's a bit of a challenge. 84 men a week in the UK commit suicide. That's 12 a day, 12 guys a day. Somebody right now, somewhere in the UK, is about to end it all. Yeah? Suicide is still the biggest single killer above all the diseases and all the other kind of stuff of guys under 50 in the UK. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible statistic, and it's still there. And it's kind of an invisible statistic as well, because people just, it's not stuff we talk about. We don't discuss it in general. Mental health is starting to come to the forefront of things. There have been some big names who have kind of admitted that they've had a problem, that they've had an issue, and that they're dealing with it. It's a huge thing. It's a huge challenge. I've had it myself for many, many, many years. I struggled with depression and stress and anxiety sort of mixed in the thing there as well, yeah. And I actually tried to kill myself in the middle of 1993, I believe it was. And basically just to, set the scene, because a lot of people who've never suffered a serious depression don't know what it is and don't understand what it is. Depression isn't feeling sad, it's not feeling low, it's not feeling unhappy, it's not feeling miserable. I mean, those come into it, but essentially it's just being numb. It's just being in a place where nothing reaches you, nothing gets to you. And it can start really, really simply, to be honest. You might have had an argument at work, you might have been given a task that you're not quite able to do, and you don't know who to ask to get help from. There could have been an argument with a partner. There's all sorts of things can kick it off, yeah? And it's a kind of like a gradual decline. You start feeling a bit off, you don't feel a bit ill, you feel a bit off colour. You sort of, your diet might change, you might start drinking more, you might start drinking less. You start to sort of shrink in on yourself. You stop talking to people. You stop talking to people unless you absolutely have to. So if you're at work and you're sort of on the downward spiral, you will still talk to people, you will still engage with them, but it's very, very kind of surface-like. And then once you're down there, well, that's it. You just don't want to talk to anybody. Nobody can get through to you. Nobody can make you see differently. I mean, when I tried to kill myself, it was I'd taken some stuff, and that would have been it. I'd planned it really carefully so that I'd be dead by middle of the afternoon kind of thing, and my girlfriend at the time wouldn't be home until 7-8 o'clock that night. And she would have, how twisted do you have to be to actually think that somebody's going to come home and catch your dead body like this, Hi, Jack. And so I took all this stuff, and I was just unconscious basically. And my girlfriend came home early just by coincidence. I wouldn't be here today. That's the ironic thing is, I wouldn't be here today if she hadn't come home early. And of course, she, shit herself, called an ambulance. I was taken to hospital, and then I was, in hospital for, a couple of days while they pumped me full of stuff to clean me out. And then a rescue team came to talk to me, and I wasn't sectioned, but I was advised to go to a mental health facility. And ironically, that was one of the things that sort of said to me, never again, because I went into this place and it was full of some seriously, seriously disturbed people. There were guys there from prison who had committed murder, who fancied a bit of a holiday, because that's what it was to them. And so they'd go and assault somebody in the prison, or they'd damage themselves, they'd cut themselves or whatever, just to get a break and to come to this facility. And this is, in the mid-90s, so everybody was still smoking, and I didn't smoke. The entire place just stank of smoke, and people were just wandering around. I was just sat in this chair feeling sorry for myself, and this guy came up and said, "Get out of my fucking chairs, I'm going to fucking kill you right now." And he was huge. And yeah, okay, mate. And I, got up, and then no private rooms or anything. You're in a ward with about a dozen other guys, and, everything that entails, and everybody's drugged up to the eyeballs. And the next morning, I saw one of the psychiatrists. No, he wasn't saying, he was a nurse. And I said, "Look, if this is it, if this is supposed to help me, I'm done. I'm never going to do this again, ever. I just don't want to be here. I hate this place." And he said, "Well, you need to talk to me about your problem." Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Look, my problem's gone now. I just do not want to be in this environment. I'm either going to get stabbed, or I'm going to get cancer, or I'm going to get this. I just don't want to be here anymore." And he went, "Okay, that's fine." So, and then he called somebody else in, and I saw a few of the people, and that was it, and I was out. And yeah, I still have down days. I mean, when my dad died in 2017, I had a couple of weeks where I was just like out for the count, but that was understandable. That was grief, yeah. So I recognized what that was, and I just let my body, my brain do what it needed to do to go through that period and get over it. But that wasn't depression, because I shut myself off, and I didn't talk to people, and I shut all my social media down, everything like that. But it still wasn't depression. Yeah, depression is like it's almost like you're dead from the neck down. You just, from the hairline down. You cannot engage with people. You cannot. The worst thing about it is that when you're in a depression, you can't see a way out. You can't see a way forward. You can't see your way clear. There's no escape. I mean, for me, my depression, I think I've talked about this before, it was like one of those comic black holes. In a cartoon, the hero's being chased by the bad guy, and the bad guy's getting a bit close, so the hero puts his hand in his pocket and throws a black circle on the floor, which suddenly becomes a hole, and the bad guy drops down the hole. The hero picks up the black hole, puts it back in the pocket, and carries on moving. And that's what it was to me. It was, and it still is, a full stop on a page of text. And that's how I monitor my depression. So full stop on a page of text. And what used to happen was it would get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I wouldn't notice it. And then all of a sudden it was like completely covering me, and I was in this black hole with just no way out. I mean, I wouldn't get out of bed for weeks. I wouldn't eat. Or if I would eat, it was just, the minuscule. I wouldn't talk to anybody. My girlfriend was pulling her hair out. It was just a really bad place to be. A really dark, dark, dark place to be. And you can't get through to people. You really can't get through to them. If you know someone who's depressed, the only thing you can really do is to make sure that they are eating, and make sure that they know that you are there for them. That's probably the most important thing. They know you are there for them. Ideally, the best way to deal with depression is to notice someone on the way down. Because if you can catch somebody on the way down, we're still communicating, still able to be rational about things, and still can understand what's going on around us. And that is probably the time where you can kind of intervene and maybe just help that person stay level rather than dropping down any further. But it's not easy, because for some people you just won't spot it. I mean, for me, sometimes nobody knew what was going on until I was down there and I was, in the middle of it and just unable to respond to anybody. Other times it was kind of like a gradual descent, and something would happen at work or at home, and that would just throw me completely. it would be like a gradual, I'd start maybe not eating that much, or not wanting to go out, or not talking to anybody, not responding, this kind of thing. And then it would just sort of get worse and worse and worse until I was finally in the hole, and just that was it. I would just be in this dark place. And to this day, I don't know what sort of brought on my suicide attempt. I think it was a combination of things. I think it was some financial issues. I think the work wasn't going that well. I think potentially the relationship wasn't going that well either. Just things weren't going well. And I wasn't able to deal with it. I had no way of being able to deal with it. I had no one I could talk to, I could confide in, because guys don't talk. And especially back in the mid-90s, just wasn't a done thing. I read a post today where somebody said, it's a sign of weakness. And it was a sign of weakness. So you didn't let on that you had a problem. And it only became apparent. And then nobody knew outside of, work, outside of your intimate environment, nobody knew you had a problem. You just were off sick because you'd hurt yourself, or whatever. And it's only when I went back to work that I went to see the work doctor and told them what had gone on. Vaguely, I didn't tell them about the suicide attempt or anything like that. And they didn't really understand, because they're just not trained for this. And now, thankfully, there's this mental health awareness training, a bit like first aid training that you can get, which is really, really useful. It teaches you the signs when someone might be struggling or suffering with something. But the thing is, it's just not easy. You have to be there for the person. But it's a balancing act. That's what I'm trying to say. Because whilst they're on the way down, you don't want to follow them down as well, because people can drag you down, can bring you into this darkness as well, and you don't want to go there. You need to be able to stay afloat. You need to be able to ship that is watertight and isn't going to sink. Because if you both sink, then you both, you're kind of like self-supporting each other. That's one of the reasons why I really am not keen on some of the groups on Facebook, because rather than helping and encouraging people to make a move out of their depression, there's lots of talk of like, well, it's going to take time, and don't worry about it, tomorrow's another day, and all this kind of thing. And they're not really helping people. They're just kind of like sympathizing. And a lot of people go into these groups, I think, just for the sympathy. Me, I never wanted sympathy. I just wanted to kill. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to be completely out of the picture. But luckily, for most of my life, there was always something. I don't know what it was, but there was always something stopping me. There was always this thing that, I can remember when I was 14, I laugh now, I'd bought one of these really ornate, stupid knives, like this big with an ornate handle, and I'd hid it in my room and nobody knew I'd bought it or whatever. And I can remember sitting in my bedroom one day, because I'd got bullied at school and I wasn't very good academically, and I just didn't enjoy my school life at all. And I can remember I was like 14 or 15 and I just wanted out. I wanted out. And so I got really, really early one morning, took all my clothes off, and I sort of kneeled down, because I'd seen the samurai do, I've forgotten the word now, the ritual suicide thing. So that's what I'll do the ritual suicide. And I held the knife and I held it to my stomach, and I sort of pushed it in a little bit, and it hurt like buggery. It really, really hurt. And I, it only went in probably like about a millimetre, and I couldn't do it anymore, because there was just like, I was trying to put this pressure on. I thought, well, shall I fall on it or whatever? I couldn't do it. Something was stopping me. And so between the ages of 14 and when I was 32, 33, there was always something stopping me doing it. I'd get close, but I wouldn't sort of follow through, kind of thing. Because depression, followed me around for a long time. And then, like I've already said, back in 93, it got to a stage where that was it. I just had it, and I just planned it, had all this stuff ready, and I just did it. Thankfully, And I mean, honestly, I mean, thankfully now, I'm so happy that it didn't happen. And that's one of the problems that we have. A lot of guys don't know that there is a way out. They don't know that they can be happy at the end of the, you know, there is a happy outcome. There is a way of moving forward and learning and growing and, you know, dealing with it. Because when we take, you know, medication sort of like puts a lid on it, but it doesn't deal with the symptoms. It doesn't deal with the why. And that's what we need to deal with. I mean, I found out what my why was, and I moved away from it, basically, and I learned a bloody load of tools. I learned to recognize my own triggers. I learned to recognize the signs in myself when I was about to go down, and I learned different tactics and tricks and things that I could do to actually stop me going there. And they worked. They worked every single time. There were still days when I'd be really low and I'd be really pissed off with things, and I'd take a couple of days off work because I just couldn't hack it, and, you know, and suicidal thoughts were still there. But when the thoughts came in, I knew how to deal with them. I knew, okay, I need to do this, that, or the other. And that's what I did. And so sometimes the little dot I was talking about would get bigger and bigger and bigger, but this time I would notice it getting bigger. I would notice it expanding. I would notice it creeping up on me, and I would deal with it. And the problem that we've got today is these, you know, 12 guys a day that are killing themselves, yeah? They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know there's a way out. Whether it's debt, whether it's a crime they've committed, whether it's a romance that's broken up, whether they've lost their job, whatever it is, they don't see a way out. And there's always a way out. Always, always, always. Might not be easy, but there's always a way out. And what we need to do now is we need to start reaching out to people. We need to get the message out there that there is a way out. There is a way to escape. It's not the end of the world. Your debt is not the end of the world. Whatever it is you've got, whatever it is your problem, it's not the end of the world, and there is a way out. And everybody, yeah, need to start getting this message out that it's okay, particularly for guys, it's okay to talk about this stuff, yeah? It's not a stigma, it's not a sign of weakness, it's none of those kind of things. Conversely, we need to stop stigmatizing it. We need to encourage people to be open about things. We've got to stop this like macho big boy image that, you know, big guys don't cry, and, you know, it's not a sign of weakness to talk about your emotions and all this kind of stuff, yeah? We, and I mean everybody as a nation, have to start opening up and talking about it. It's absolutely brilliant that some big celebrities and sports stars have started opening up, and because if they do it, you get a big footballer that says, yeah, I suffered with it really badly and I stopped playing football for whatever period of time. It's a start, and it's a step in the right direction. The more we talk about it, the more it becomes like a broken leg. Nobody criticizes anybody for having a broken leg. Nobody thinks it's a sign of weakness that they've got a broken leg. You know, we know that everybody has an accident every now and again, and that's the result. So what I'm saying is we need to do this kind of thing with guys who are suffering from depression, anxiety, or just getting stressed out. The signs are there. We just need to let people know that they can talk about it. What time is it? Yeah, I've gone on a bit too long there. So listen, that's my goal for tonight, is to get people to recognize that it's okay to talk about this stuff, yeah? It's okay to open up. It's okay for guys to cry. It's okay for guys to bear their emotions, yeah? It really, anger is an emotion, yes? And guys happy to demonstrate their anger sometimes, yeah? But there's a lot of other emotions as well. And it's about time we allowed guys to let these out and be open about them and discuss them. That's it. Thank you for watching. My name is Paul, and I help guys that are battling depression, anxiety and stress, because what I do is I reboot your brain and get you back in the game. If you want to talk to me, drop me a PM, put a thing in the comments, whatever. If you know someone that is suffering, get them to give me a call, or drop a link to this video in a PM and send it to them, whatever it is. I do this 7 nights a week at 8 o'clock. I really appreciate you watching, and I will see you tomorrow night. Thanks. Bye.